So I've included some of my summary findings in this slideshow presentation. And for the first set of my summary findings, I wanted to give you 3 examples of rubrics that I found and assessed. So the first example, I've titled A Camouflaged Letter System, and it was created by Robert Lee Mann, a high school teacher in Ohio. So Mr. Mann grades his high school students' papers on a 100-point scale system, rather than strictly with a letter grade. Mann says, quote, "The important thing is that the scale mirrors the teacher's judgment rather than dictating it." Mann describes the heart of his system as threefold. 1, it preserves flexibility in the major areas. 2, it allows precision in the minor areas. And lastly, it preserves the balance between major and minor steps in the writing process, and thus underlines the hierarchy of values inherent in writing. In sum, it stresses that what writers write is more important than how they write it, yet it still forces attention on the latter because, cumulatively, as you see in the point breakdown graph on the slide, the student can lose up to half the available points if they don't take care of the format in mechanical business. So as you see, there's kind of like a sliding scale of value in Mr. Mann's point system. So where a good limited topic and excellent detail in support of the thesis is rewarded with the majority of the points. Next, readability is rewarded substantially, but not as much as content, but it's commensurate with its importance in getting the message across. Mechanics and looks, while relatively of less importance, still account for 1/4 of the grade. So I think the benefits of this scale are substantial. First, 50 points in the content section and 25 points in the readability section gives us teachers substantial room for judgment. So the second rubric I've included was a study that was done by Nancy Burris, and I've titled it A Hybrid, Objective and Subjective Content Analysis. So this was actually a study that was done where junior high and high school students were asked to write a composition paper in response to the literary story Coyote's Gift to Turkey Girl, written in 1942. And the research was performed to study students' responses to literary elements in a folktale. I am using the research to study how their papers were graded. So according to Burris's findings, the written responses of the students were analyzed by a panel of judges using an objective content analysis scheme and a subjective content analysis instrument. So within the objective content analysis, there was focus on 4 elements. 1 was genre conventions, the second was characterization, the third was plot, and the fourth was setting. And then under the subjective content analysis, student stories were analyzed in terms of the kind and quality of literary elements used. And then lastly, student stories were also evaluated using a holistic scoring procedure to assess the overall quality of writing. So as you can see, in this rubric, it's very loose and obviously less nuanced than Mr. Mann's, and it offers the judges a lot of room for subjective grading.